Testing. Testing, testing. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me loudly and clearly. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me loudly and clearly. Excellent, thank you.
Trust me, dude, hot girls are overrated.
All females are sluts until proven otherwise.
Don't get me wrong, they're fun for a little while, but they are a fucking headache.
Money and looks can get you in the door, but game is what keeps you on our mind. Bitches never know what the fuck they want, man.
Live from Philadelphia, your man, Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 596th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. As always, we are presented by Gorilla Mind Rush, the #1 non-habit-forming energy and focus supplement on the planet. Be super productive and laser focused for hours with zero crash and zero jitters. Support your productivity and the show by going to donovansharpe.com/GorillaMindRush to get your hands on a bottle or 560. Appreciate the support there, guys. Always appreciate you guys tuning in. And by the way, Gorilla Mind Rush, I think they had run out of stock a little bit earlier on in the week. So for anyone who is waiting on the Gorilla Mind Rush stock to get back up, as I think I got an email this morning that says that that they're good to go on stock. So if you guys tried to order and they told you that it was out of stock, have no worries. Gorilla Mind Rush is going to be, it is back in stock as of right now. So you have nothing to worry about there. We are streaming live to Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, VK, and OK.ru. So however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe Reality Live a part of your daily routine. It is Thursday, April 16th, 2020. It is good to have you guys in today. Guys, be sure to get your hands on my free ebook, 16 Ways to Immediately Disqualify Her for a Long-Term Relationship. All you have to do is subscribe to my email list and the book is yours. A lot of men wonder where they go wrong in relationships. And 147% of the time, it's because she had at least 8 of the 16 deal-breaker characteristics I list in my book. Go to donovansharpe.com/newsletter. Subscribe to my newsletter and you will have the book. Keep in mind that the ebook has coupons for all of my courses. So that is an added benefit for you. I'm going to be doing my Love is Blind breakdown over on sharpestream.com. Again, I'm going to be doing my Love is Blind breakdown over on sharpestream.com. Didn't get a chance to do it yesterday because, of course, I had a consultation that I had completely forgotten about. I had a request for a consultation that I completely forgot about, And so hopefully that ends up that's certainly not going to be the case in this particular today. I only do consultations, I think, on Wednesdays or Fridays. I think Wednesdays and Fridays is when I do consultations. It's been a while since I've done consultations, other than yesterday. I don't really have as much time. I don't really have as much time to do them as of late. So, as a matter of fact, I don't even have the link. Only the people with the consultation link can actually go in and schedule a consultation. So, I'll probably do another consultation page on my website here pretty soon. I'll get Devin to do it over the weekend. Speaking of Devin, as announced yesterday, she is officially off of dick detention. I was gonna beat the brakes off of her last night. I was just too tired after I got done with the show, man. I was completely winded. I lifted super heavy. I just didn't have the energy to fuck her last night. But I'm not going to have that problem tonight. I lifted super heavy today, but this is what Devin will be wearing while I fuck her. Yep, this is what she's going to be wearing. The panties, I'll either rip the panties off or I'll pull them to the side. But yeah, those are the heels that she's going to be wearing. And like I said, guys, she actually walks very well in these particular heels. She's a little bit out of practice, obviously, because I put her on dick detention. But I'm going to train her to wear these out in the public so that she can walk in these in public. Despite the height of the heels, I think these are like 7-inch heels, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they are super duper tall. You can see the arch is almost straight up. They're a very supportive shoe. It's very tight around her foot. She's got the sexy ankle strap, which I absolutely adore. Love the ankle strap. And so that keeps the shoe from sliding one way or the other. And once she puts those heels on, she can't run away. She can't take them off. So if she has second thoughts, oh well, she's already got the heels on. But yeah, I'm actually gonna have her start wearing those particular heels in public. She has stripper heels, like real legit stripper heels. She'll never wear those in public. But I think it's time to really, really start to crank up her ultra femininity. She turns heads wherever she goes. It looks like she's gonna be turning even more heads. Oh, pardon me. There we go. Whew. Extra thirsty. I'm hearing that I'm having a little bit of volume. I'm having a little bit of a volume issue. I guess we're good. Yeah, I think I think I'm good. I'm looking at my sound bar. I'm in the red. So maybe you need to turn up your volume. But Matt Vasquez wants to know, did Joy ever slide into your DMs? No, she did not. And I saw that somebody else wondered where my response video for Joy had gone. It's still up there. You just have to look for it. It's still up there. I think it's episode 594. Episode 594 at that point. Anyway, enough of me bullshitting about nothing, letting you guys get in here. 793 people watching. Let's get right to it. So, shout out to Lurie Tisdale. I think it's Jr. Lurie Tisdale Jr. Lurie Tisdale Jr. sent me a video of a couple responding to an article. Now, the article was written on The Sun, and I completely forgot to put the article up here, so I'm going to do that right now. But the article is a woman who talks about the fact that she sperm jacked a man because she was desperate for a baby. There we go. Excellent. Okay, perfect. So she was desperate for a baby, so she sperm jacked this poor bastard. And so I'm gonna read the article to you very quickly. I'm not gonna break it down because I think it's pretty obvious that this is extremely fucked up. But I'm gonna read through the article quickly. Then we are going to break down the breakdown of the couple that broke down the video. So the article is entitled, quotes, "The Spurglers. I was desperate for a baby, so I spurgled a man and tricked him into getting me pregnant." It starts, "While most wait until Mr. Right comes along and they are financially stable, others take matters into their own hands. Lately, there has been a rising number of spurglers a new term for women who burgle sperm by various cunning and sometimes dangerous means. From pretending to be on the pill, to buying a 20-pound fertility kits on Amazon to inject sperm, holy shit, didn't know women were doing that. There are many desperate ways sperglers try to realize their dream of motherhood. It comes as women who are desperate for a baby may not be eligible for free IVFs on the NHS. Well, here's a thought. How about we not wait until we're 33? How about we not wait until we're 38, 39, 40 years old to start having kids? This is why we tell women to have kids young. Guys, have kids young. If you wait too long, you're not going to be able to have kids. There are many other reasons, but again, I'm not going to break down this article. I'm going to break down the breakdown. Guidelines from the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence, this is NICE, I guess that's the acronym, are that women under the age of 40 should be offered up to 3 free cycles of IVF in vitro fertilization if they have been trying to conceive for more than 2 years without success, or they have had 12 failed cycles of artificial insemination. Today, the average age for a first-time mother in the UK is 30, but 1 in 25 UK births are to women over 40. Wow. The average age in the UK for a first-time mother is 30 years old. Guys, women in the UK are not having kids in their 20s. The reason I'm a big, strong, healthy guy is because my mother had me when she was 18. My mom married my dad when she was 16 and he was 17. I guess they waited a couple of years to have kids. I guess waited until they got out of high school. Then he joined the army. That's when they decided to have kids. But yeah, like I was born to an 18-year-old mother. This is why I'm almost never sick. This is why I have good genetics. I'm a big, strong, strapping, healthy guy, even at the ripe old age of 42. But when you're having kids at over 40 years old, then mothers wonder why their kids have autism, birth defects, asthma, things of that nature. Holy shit, there's your answer. Local clinical commissioning groups, CCCGs, also have their own criteria for who should get help depending on the catchment area. While single women can scour the internet for a sperm donor, if they do not meet the criteria for free treatment on the NHS, they would need to shell out thousands to have it privately. The average cost for one round is just shy of £3,000 in the UK, and this figure rises depending on the practice. What is more, there is no guarantee the procedure will be a success. Between 2014 and 2016, the percentage of IVF treatments that resulted in a live birth was 29% for women aged under 35 and 23% for women aged 35 to 37. Again, guys, if this doesn't encourage or tell women to marry and have kids young, I don't know what does. This is the consequence of sport fucking your way through your 20s. You're in your most fertile years. Women want to give away their bodies when their bodies are the most ready to give birth to big, strong, strapping babies. No, they want to wait till their eggs are almost shriveled up. Oh, now we want to look for Mr. Right. The article continues. Here, one self-confessed spergler and victim of sperglery reveal all. He was tall and dark. It starts, admin assistant Victoria Beckett was desperate to be a young mum, so spurgled. Okay? 29 is not a young mom, guys. 29 is a very old mom. Now she is the loving mom to a daughter and she has no regrets. So now her daughter is going to be raised by a single mother. Sluts raise sluts, guys. Single mothers are no different. She says, quote, I knew I wanted to be a young mom. I'd suffered a miscarriage in my teens and it affected me badly. I'd hoped to start a family with my school sweetheart, but found he'd been cheating. Dude, here we go. So now she's already blaming the fact that she waited to have kids until she's 29 because as a teenager, her high school boyfriend cheated and she had a miscarriage. What happened when you were 20? What happened at 22, 24, 26, 28? No, The reason you waited until the reason you didn't have kids in your 20s is because you were not interested in kids in your 20s. She wants to make us think that she's been interested in having a family and kids young because she tried it when she was a teenager. No, that was not a planned pregnancy, sweetheart. Here's another thing. How much you want to bet that miscarriage was an abortion? How many teenage girls have miscarriages, guys? Huh? Ask yourselves that. No, miscarriages happen to women typically in their 30s and 40s. The younger the body is, the higher the likelihood that they will be able to carry that pregnancy to term and give birth to a a healthy baby. No, she wants us to believe that her cheating high school sweetheart ran around on her, broke her heart. Oh, by the way, unplanned pregnancy, and it just magically miscarried. No, that's bullshit. I don't believe that for 1 second. I think she got knocked up. She found out that her boyfriend was cheating and decided, you know what? He's not going to stick around for the kid. I'm going to get an abortion. That's what this is. I don't believe this for 1 second. Ideally, she continues, I'd be married before having kids so I could bring them up with someone I loved. But I went from one failed relationship to another, so I knew I'd have to take a different route. Translation: I fucked every dude with an Adam's apple in my 20s. Dude, one failed relationship to another implies that she was in these relationships to become a mother. Isn't it funny how women choose their words and tell us, they tell us I went from one failed relationship to another. There are no details of the failed relationship. And oh, by the way, the one failed relationship she did give us details about, surprise, surprise, it's his fault. Again, I don't buy that. Now, here's one thing I do buy. I do buy the fact that she went from one failed relationship to another, but of course, the UK being a hotbed and epicenter for feminism, this is exactly what happened. Of course, she went from one failed relationship to another. Like all women in their 20s in these Western countries, you were a slut. You were on the cock carousel. You were never interested in having children. Don't try to, just because you went from one failed relationship to another does not mean that you were in these relationships to have kids. Nobody here is buying that. It continues. I went on to my GP and asked about IVF, but I was told I didn't meet the NHS requirements. I wasn't in a committed relationship and was young. I thought about using a sperm donor and paying for IVF, but at £3,000 ago, there's no way I could have afforded it on my then waitress's salary. Jesus Christ. I'd have to take a more drastic measure, hoodwink a guy. I knew it wasn't morally right, but I had no choice. I met Tom, she says, on one night out. He was tall, dark, handsome, and intelligent. I wanted someone with good genes, and he was perfect. We began seeing each other, and unknown to him, I stopped taking the pill. I deliberately had unprotected sex at my most fertile time of the month. It didn't take long before my boobs started to swell and I had morning sickness. I did a pregnancy test and it was positive. At 12 weeks, I sat Tom down and told him the good news, except he didn't see it that way. I thought you were on the pill, he said. He then went into meltdown. I don't want to have a baby, he said. This is mad. Guilt hit me, but I pushed it to the back of my mind. I'm sorry, I squeaked. I don't know how it's happened. Wait, you don't know how it's happened? You just told us how it happened. Look at the top of your screen, guys. I deliberately had unprotected sex at my most fertile time of the month. Do you see how even when women tell us exactly how it happened, when it comes to answering the call, I don't know how it happened, bitch, please. Ay, ay, ay. If you don't want anything to do with it, I can do it alone. Secretly, she says, this was fine with me. I didn't think he'd be a hands-on dad, so I continued with the pregnancy by myself. He didn't come to any hospital appointments with me, and I don't blame him. When I went into labor, my mom held my hand. I gave birth to a beautiful girl. Oh boy, Jesus Christ. As I held her, I knew it had all been worth it. I would look after her. Tom came to my house to meet her 1 week after her birth, but I've not heard from him since. He didn't want to be a part of our lives, and I respected that. He's never paid maintenance or sent a birthday card. I guess maintenance is child support in England. I don't hold that against him. I love being a mom, and I can't wait to have more children. This girl wants to have more children. So how's she going to do this? She's going to sperm jack like somebody else? Ideally, I'd be married, but if I never meet the one, I don't rule out being a sperm stealer again. Holy shit. So not only does she want more kids, if she doesn't find the one, she says she has no problem sperm jacking another man. Gentlemen, this is, oh my God, this is biologically irresponsible. But again, I don't want to go too much into this. Okay. I don't want to go too much into this. What I want, because we're going to break down the breakdown. And by the way, this is going to be a 2-part series. These people that I'm looking at here did a 2-part, or they actually did quite a long video. And we're going to get to them in a minute. And by the way, I actually went to Cassie West's Facebook page, and I put the link there for her. So hopefully Cassie and David are watching. Okay, so let me quickly read the super chats, and we will move on because they are coming in fast and furious. Let's stay professional with the $2 super chat. Says, what happened to the Joy Isabel response video again? Episode number 594. JM0 with the $5 super chat said, been listening for about a little over a year. Became a Patreon member today. The Love is Blind breakdowns are some of your best work yet. Keep it up. Yeah, man. Listen, those Love is Blind breakdowns are solid gold. Nasty Clown, super chats 50 SEKs. Let me look that up. Okay, $5 super chat. Appreciate that, Nasty Clown. Says keep it up. Kofa Fitness with the $20 super chat. Appreciate that. Mysterium Lugosi with the $20 super chat says, just because I appreciate you. Thanks, man. I appreciate you too, man. Thank you very much. Mark is blind. Mark is blind with the $5 super chat says, if you are resorting to stealing sperm to have kids, you aren't mentally stable enough to have kids, in my opinion. Just saying. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. Like, can you imagine this woman having 3 kids by 3 different men, and they all, like, I don't want to use the R word, but dude, you can't be sperm jacking men. She said she wouldn't rule it out. What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Six Ball, $5 says, if a woman pulls this, sue for custody. She loses the kid and has to pay you child support. Worked for me, going on 5 years with my little one. I agree with you. That's a good strategy, but there's just one problem. That guy didn't want to have a kid, right? And she said, hey, he didn't really seem like he was going to be a hands-on dad anyway. 6'4" alpha chads rarely are. That's just how it is. El Baracho, $2. Appreciate that. Alexander Dragomir has become a member. I certainly appreciate that. So let us go ahead and continue on. So what I'm going to do now, gentlemen, is I'm going to break down a video that this particular couple did in response to this article. And it's the name of the video is called MGTOW Lies versus Traditionalist on Spurglers, Women Who Con Men into Getting Them Pregnant. Now, the first thing I want to say here is that Cassie and David West, they're on your screen now, beautiful family. Cassie and David are the embodiment of the old world American dream, okay? He's a decent looking guy. She is a beautiful, dude, Cassie is absolutely hot. Dude, I would pound her 6 ways from Sunday. And yes, David, I said that shit. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Cassie's hot. I would absolutely raw dog that bitch into submission. Straight up. If, of course, she were single, which is a possibility, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Anyway, David and Cassie have a very beautiful family. They have 2 children. And I'm not going to put pictures of their kids up here because they're not into it. But one thing I quickly noticed when I went through Cassie's Facebook page is that, number 1, David doesn't have a Facebook page. And number 2, there were a few pictures on her Facebook page that says that she might not be as turned on by him as he is her. So take a look at your screen, guys. This is the first picture I came across. That's David on the left. That is Cassie on the right. David is leaning forward. Cassie is not leaning at all. As a matter of fact, she's looking at him like, yeah, I know you want me. I don't have to come to you. You got to come to me. I am higher value than you. And you know what? David and Cassie are probably watching this. And she's probably thinking, oh my God, there's no way. I love my husband. Hey, Cassie, baby, I know you love your husband. But what you have to understand is, and Cassie's probably not even aware of her own nature in this regard. And again, we'll get into that later. Let's take a look at another picture. Oh, this is another picture of David and Cassie in their car. The typical picture of a man who loves his wife more than she loves him. He's paying attention to her. She's paying attention to the camera. You can see Cassie's very pretty. She's very attractive. She's not really attractive in this video because she is pregnant, so she's a little bit fat. But dude, she can absolutely positively lose that baby weight. She actually had a video that talked about her 10-day water fast. So Cassie appears to be a very good wife. She's had 2 kids, and as soon as she has the kids, she's right back down to her pre-baby body weight. Good for her. Good for David. Good for David. But again, this picture shows that she is more into herself than she is into him. Let's take a look at something else. Oh, here we go. This is another selfie that Cassie took, and you can see Cassie is quite attractive. But David is looking up at her. Cassie is looking down at the camera. Oh, well, what's this? This is Cassie and her husband, but Cassie seems to have cut her husband out of the picture. Yeah, that's not good. That's not a good look. Not a good look. And this, of course, and again, I blocked out their kids because, listen, like, honestly, again, I'm keeping it real. Beautiful family, man. I'm never going to throw shade on the traditional nuclear family. Both parents in the home, both traditionalists. Like, dude, I give them all the credit in the world. Beautiful family, but as you can see, they have their hands. She's got her hands around him, but he's leaning in and she looks like she's leaning away. Yeah. Just a little bit. I think that was the last one. Okay. So, right off the bat, and listen, does this mean that Cassie is not attracted to her husband? Of course not. He's a good-looking dude, right? He's a good-looking guy. She's obviously very beautiful. I didn't pull any pictures off of her Facebook, but she's hot. If you go check it out, she's a smoke show. Like, for a mom, she's probably about a 7.5, maybe even an 8 on a good day. But you can see that there are chinks in the armor with regards of her sexual attraction to her husband. Not atypical. This happens all the time. But I think, and David, if you're watching, my friend, you might not want to hear this, but you're probably going to need to hear this, okay? Your wife does not love you unconditionally, my friend. And you can logic and reason it out all you want to. And David, by the way, if you do respond in the chat of my YouTube videos, I don't look at the chat. I don't look at my comments. Don't look at my comments. So if you have anything to say to me, you know where to find me. I'm actually getting ready to open up the phone lines. I posted the video link. I'm not opening up the phone lines yet, but I posted the video link right there, right in your wife's Facebook. So if you're watching, you will get a chance to call in and speak your piece. But I think, my friend, you are in for a rude awakening. Beautiful family. Very, very proud of the family. But you know how that goes. So they responded to this particular video. And to say that they are condescendingly ignorant, probably an understatement. Probably an understatement. This is absolutely positively cringeworthy. These two, and bless their little hearts, Cassie knows the truth. Cassie knows a woman's true nature. She knows what's going on out here in these streets. David, unfortunately, does not, like most men. Right? Like that's usually the way it happens. You understand what I'm saying? Hang on a second. Okay, Joby Blogs, I need you to quit. Don't hijack the chat. Like, stick to the topic in the chat. Stick to the topic in the chat. Listen, I'm sure whatever's going on, but come on. Let's pipe down on that. Anyway, so let us listen to this video. And watching this video, dude, it pissed me off so bad because they are shockingly wrong, but they act like they're just so right. Like, they just act like this is just, I can't believe it. So let's get this party started.
Hi guys, what's up? Cassie West here. Very pregnant Cassie West. This is my husband David, and
so she says here that she's on the verge of giving birth. So any triggered MGTOWs can spare us the fat insults. The first thing that I'm going to point out here, give me a second. Hey, hang on a second, guys. Fake MGTOWs. Damn it. The first thing I'm going to point out is that the people that they are talking about or talking to are men who call themselves MGTOWs, okay? The problem is that they're not really they're not really talking to MGTOWs. They're talking to those who I like to refer to as scabs. Okay? Scared, crying, angry babies. And you'll see why here in just a second.
today he had an altercation online.
A debate.
With a
This guy thinks he's such hot fucking shit. A debate. And listen, bless Cassie's little heart. She loves her husband. She's standing behind him. But this guy, David, thinks he's a fucking big shot, right? He's about to read his responses. This guy, David, is such a... Dude, he is such a fucking geek, man. This guy, dude, he thinks he's so... Dude, he thinks he's so fucking cool, dude. Look how relaxed he is. He has no idea what he has no idea about. Yeah, who are these people? Matrix wants to know. Look, man, there are a couple of YouTubers. That's not what they do. I've looked at both their channels. They've got like 6,000 subscribers apiece. But David thinks he's such a fucking big shot because he defended the women that sperm jack men. So take a listen.
MGTOW over
and they call them MGTOWs. That's MGTOW.
The subject of spurglary, which is sperm burglary.
It was with a MGTOW activist, which if you don't know what that is, it's MGTOW is MGTOW. It stands for Men Going Their Own Way.
See, this is why they haven't done their research. Because had they done their research, they would know that it's pronounced MGTOW. That's not really a point of contention, but again, before you start making judgments about who you believe are MGTOWs, you gotta do the work. You gotta do the research.
And it's basically just men who are butthurt about women.
Here we go.
And
a lot of them are very like anti-feminist, but that seems like the weirdest part to me because I don't get how they don't just see like, oh, this is like the male version of feminist.
You know, it's interesting that she says that. And this brings me to my previous point, okay? The people they are talking about are not MGTOWs. There are a lot of men out there who call themselves MGTOWs, but are not MGTOWs. Again, I call these guys scared, crying, angry babies. And allow me to be a little bit more specific in terms of who I'm talking about. I actually did a video about this a while back. It's called How to Spot a Fake MGTOW, okay? A fake MGTOW is lazy, okay? A fake MGTOW has little to no sexual experience. A fake MGTOW thinks they're owed sex simply because they're men. A fake MGTOW checks out of the sexual marketplace because they think dealing with women should be easy. A fake MGTOW makes excuses before having tried to be successful with women. A fake MGTOW only wants to complain about women but not interested in the solutions, okay? Fake MGTOWs talk about going overseas, but are never in the process of doing so. It's just a talking point, okay? Fake MGTOWs, they think women are bad, but they don't know that women just are, right? Fake MGTOWs want the cheat code because they're lazy. They want the magic word, the cheat code, bippity-boppity-boo, she's going to drop her panties. Fake MGTOW guy says, well, you still don't understand. If any man who calls himself a MGTOW tells me you still don't get it, no, you're not a MGTOW, my friend. You are a scab. You are a scared, crying, angry. The MGTOWs, and listen, shout out to Coach Greg Adams and Joker, and I'm working on getting them on the show next week. Those guys would characterize themselves as MGTOWs. I have all the respect in the world for them and their following. But those groups have a lot of men in their ranks that give them a bad name, okay? Fake MGTOWs like to talk shit about men like me simply because I've had success with women. And by the way, it's not easy to have success with women. It never was. I make it look easy, okay? But it's almost like sluts see players and they think that we just wake up out of bed and we start slaying, right? They think getting laid for guys is as easy as it is for them. This is why they hate players. No, they hate players because we don't pay anything to fuck you in the ass. You're used to guys paying with their time, their attention, their money just to get a sniff at the vagina. Guys like myself, I'm not paying shit. I'll pay you some I'll take you to the ATM, but it ain't gonna be for money, right? Well, it's the same with these bottom-dwelling scabs. They think it's easy. And because it's not easy for them, they hate on us, okay? Fake MGTOWs are not incels. The real incels, and let's just clear this up. The real incels are men who are physically or mentally handicapped. Those are incels. If a man really wanted to have sex, he could. Dude, even though prostitution is illegal, there are women selling their vaginas in every corner of every state of this country. No, these are men who are voluntarily celibate. Well, I don't want to spend $200 just to get laid. I want it to mean something. You're a scab. It's just sex. It's not supposed to mean anything, not to a guy, right? And even then, some of those guys get women. The only incels are the men who are mentally handicapped. If you are not mentally or physically handicapped, there is positively no excuse that you are not successful with women. There is an ocean of free content out here designed to help you with women. Just because you can't or won't put in the work is not our problem. Okay? Like I said, this is the men we're talking about, scabs. So the guy that, the men that this guy David thinks he's all big and bad for jousting with, he's dealing with low-level scabs. He ain't dealing with, he's not dealing with dudes like me. That I can guarantee.
Yeah, it's basically
like so
the actual
weird.
male version of feminism. It's very stupid, but the idea is that they don't want to have anything to do with women anymore. They're going their own way.
Do you see how condescending they're going their own way? This is a man who is clueless about what's really going on out here in these streets. He is so clueless, he thinks that it is the only way. This guy's a fucking idiot. I'm happy. He's a happy idiot. But David, you are a fucking idiot. And if you disagree, call my show, man.
Yeah.
So someone posted this article from a UK newspaper. It says, I was desperate for a baby, so I spurgled a man and hoodwinked.
Do you see how he put spurgled in quotation marks? Now, he didn't put spurgled in quotation marks as if to imply that this is a new term. No. When somebody puts quotations around something, he is almost indirectly implying that it's not really real, right? She spurgled. Like, you could tell the way he did that, he is implying that spurgling is not a real thing.
Him into getting me pregnant. Now,
Serious.
So if you read the actual article, it was like women who would get with a guy and tell him they're on birth control, sleep with him for a couple months until they get pregnant, and then tell them they're pregnant and be like, oh yeah, if you want to leave, it's fine. I just wanted a baby. I lied about that. So it was like they weren't even like demanding child support from anyone. It was like women in England who were like,
wait a minute. So the fact that they don't demand child support from someone, oh, that makes it right? So a woman sperm jacks you, has a kid, doesn't demand child support. Oh, that's okay. Well, hell, if she doesn't want, if I don't have to pay child support, then all right, I'm good. No, man. Listen, even if a man gets sperm jacked, that's your kid. That's your flesh and blood, man. You are being forced to be a deadbeat dad. It's not just about the money. Oh, you're goddamn right you're not going to hit me for fucking child support, bitch. But by the same token, I need to see my fucking kid. Again, this is a mental thing with men. Men who have been sperm jacked and have nothing to do with their kids, every 5 years I think, you know what? I wonder what my kid looks like. Guys, that's a mind job. Just because she doesn't demand child support does not mean that doesn't mean that damage hasn't been done. For this ignorant fucking idiot to say that, I just can't believe how ignorant this guy is.
Like, I don't want to be 35 when I have my first kid, so I'm 29. I'm going to just take my life into my own hands now. Most of the people commenting thought it was ridiculous and were relatively on my side. Like, here's one of the first comments I see. The guy says, dude was dumb to trust her. As long as she isn't expecting him to pay anything, he should let it go and wear a rubber next time or be more choosy. So most people were saying things like that. So then,
okay, but here's the problem. And if you're a part of my audience, there is absolutely no excuse for you to be sperm jacked. Guys, this is why I tell you to wear a condom. It doesn't, dude, I don't care. Dude, girls have tried to sperm jack me before. Dude, I told you the story about Christiana. Man, I told you guys. I forgot what video it was, but it was recently. Do not run up in these bitches raw, gentlemen. You fuck her with a condom and you flush it down. You watch that condom go down the toilet. Do not take any chances. However, let's not act like this is a one-way street. Well, he should have wore a condom. Yes, he should have wore a condom. But you want to know something? The girl shouldn't have fucking lied, David. She shouldn't have lied. Lying about birth control for the specific intent of sperm jacking or spurgling someone is fucking wrong, Mr. West.
I finally wrote, honestly.
I finally wrote. Like, okay, all right. Enough. I'm the overlord. I'm the wise man. I've got the hot wife, so I'm the authority. David, fuck you, dude. You don't know shit. Dude, guys like this piss me off, man.
Every person in this article is terrible.
Every person in this article is terrible, David wrote. I'm sorry, what exactly did the guy who gets spurgled, what's terrible about him? You see, a woman perpetuated a wrong against a man, but everybody's terrible? This is what happens in blue pill society. When a woman fucks up so obviously, the world can't ignore the fact that she fucked up. David can't even do that. So David decided to spread the blame on everybody like a peanut butter sandwich. Well, everyone is terrible. David, you're a fucking hack. You are an idiot.
So it's hard to feel bad for any of them.
How is it hard to feel bad for the guy that got sperm jacked? Oh my God.
That just seems like the most non-controversial statement ever.
Yeah, and we'll get to why they were all scummy if you're wondering how the men were scummy beyond just, having sex outside of marriage, because it's worse. So,
oh, Jesus fucking Christ. The men get scummy because they had sex outside of marriage, right? So what are they, fucking the air? What are they, fucking themselves? No, David. Women are out here having sex outside of marriage too. David only wants to look at the fault of a man. David is only interested in blaming men for this. This guy, David, I swear to God, I wish I could call this guy some names, but I'm going to try to keep it YouTube friendly. And you want to know something? I'm sure he's going to write some pithy little condescending whatever in my comments. David, I don't look at the comments, bruh. I don't go back and forth. I don't go back and forth with weaklings like you. Not in that way. If you got a problem, you can fucking call me. I am not hard to find, my friend. I am not backing the fuck down. I'm not going back and forth with someone like you who can only debate with a keyboard. If you want to go mano a mano, I fucking dare you. Now here's the thing. David is going to come out with some pithy statement about why he can't or won't. But what it comes down to is that you're fucking afraid. That's what this is, David.
This started an argument with this guy who says he's a MAGTOW. He'd already written on some other comment. He was like, F these women, MAGTOW, hashtag MAGTOW.
See, it's so funny. These guys, and don't get me wrong. The guys that they're talking about, they really are scabs. But for him to talk about these men as if they don't have a gripe with women, for him to talk about these men like they're somehow flawed, no, David. There's a reason why men become MGTOW. There's a reason why men go their own way. There's a reason why men become scabs. Being a scab is not really the thing you should do, but it's not completely unfounded. No, this guy David is acting like we live in fucking Pleasantville. He acts like we live in any fucking city, USA. No, that ain't the way it is, man.
So yeah, let's get into it. Just to give you some more context here, this is one of those guys.
And by the way, this video has more downvotes than it has upvotes. So I don't really know how they're feeling about that.
That does not have a single real profile picture of himself. Yeah. Like he has like a couple pictures of like anarcho-capitalist flags and stuff. So, clearly a normal person. I'm an anarcho-capitalist, but, I don't have nothing but fake profile pictures because I have a real life.
David, dude, you are not funny, man. Like, dude, you are not. Oh my God. David, man, look, dude, it's going to be a very rude awakening for you. But let me clue you in on something, Mr. West. I am not the guys you're talking about, my friend. Oh, no. I'm not those guys. I'm not hashtag Matt. No. No. I don't fuck with people on the keyboard. I fuck with people face to fucking face. Right? So when you watch this video, you're going to be feeling some type of way. You're going to be grappling with a lot of feelings that you probably haven't felt before. This is a good thing. This is called your masculine instinct taking over. Don't run from it. You need to embrace it. Don't run away from it like a bitch, because if you do, your woman is going to fuck someone a lot like me. I can promise you that.
So,
and she's laughing and giddy because she's pregnant. Her hormones are all out of control. That's fine. This is just who she's going to be. And listen, I give it to her, man. Her husband is her hero. I hope it stays this way. I hope whatever bubble they created for themselves, I hope she stays in it, because as soon as she's out of that bubble, man, it's a wrap, dude. This guy is tall, but he's not a strong guy, man. Like this guy is the equivalent of a male feminist. He really is. And she might be laughing now, but in 5 to 6 years, she's not really going to be laughing when she starts seeing and becoming more attracted to stronger men.
Let's get into this. So here's this guy, Adam Green's first response. The article doesn't even cover what I would call sperm jacking, which is when they do stuff like spit out your sperm and impregnate themselves with it intentionally, etc. Instead, all these women did was lie about birth control or infertility. I think the article was written to make sperm jacking seem less bad and encourage women to do it more. There is no reason to feel bad for these women. They got what they wanted. The only people deserving any sympathy will be the men. Obviously, I laugh reacted to that.
Oh, obviously, I laugh reacted to that. Oh my God. Dudes like this, man, I just want to crack him. I want to break this guy's nose because he thinks he's just so, oh my God. This is where, dude, I lose my temper with guys like this. Guys who are so utterly clueless. They're probably from a really small town, and he's probably a big fucking deal in a small town. But David, man, you're gonna have to check yourself, man. You're gonna have to check yourself, dude. I don't know, maybe this is the way people feel about me. Like, the anger I feel towards this guy, probably the anger that a lot of haters feel about me. But one thing my haters can't say is that Donovan don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And then I wrote, the men deserve absolutely zero sympathy here.
And why is that, David?
If anything, they deserve less sympathy than the women do, because men like this guy are exactly the reason these women are being driven to this insanity.
Unfucking believable. This dude is blaming men for women sperm jacking. A woman spurgles a man. She takes a man's sperm, unbeknownst to him, gets pregnant, but it's somehow his fault. It's the men like the man she sperm jacked. That's the reason why these women are sperm jacking men. No, David. No. You want to know why these women sperm jack? Because they get butt fucked all through their 20s and 30s, and then they figure out when it's too late that the men who used to want to give them ass to mouth don't want to put babies in these hoes. That's what it is, David. Our biggest detractors, feminism does not thrive without men, guys. The reason why feminism is as strong as it is because of this guy. This guy. This weak-willed, weak-jawed, trying to impress women. I wish I could call him some not safe for YouTube names, but I'm not going to. But this guy is the reason why feminism is so strong. How in the fuck, David, are you gonna... This is like someone breaking into someone's house, right? Stealing a TV, okay? Not getting hurt. Well, they got what they wanted. It was the TV. And then people saying they feel sorry for the homeowner. Well, actually, I feel sorry for the homeowner less. It's not the homeowner's fault he got robbed, or it's the homeowner's fault he got robbed. The reason why people rob people like the homeowner is because people like the homeowner. Fuck out of here, man. Ignorant dumbass.
If guys were settling down and marrying women and giving them kids, literally none of this would be happening.
Oh, David. Let's run that back.
This guy are exactly the reason these women are being driven to this insanity.
Uh-huh.
If guys were settling down and marrying women and giving them kids, literally none of this would be happening.
David, my friend, this is why, David has to be ignorant of this. I can't believe that someone who lives in the United States can fix his mouth to say, well, if men were marrying these women and giving them kids, this literally wouldn't be happening. David, men in their 20s and 30s, dude, they're steady trying to marry women. But do you want to know what women in their 20s do? I'm not ready yet. I want to sleep around. I want to experience life. I need to find myself. I'm not ready to settle down yet. David, men are not to blame for women not getting married. It's the women. The men want to get married. Guys, the men want to get married. The women do not. David, I don't know how else to put this, Mr. West. Men want to get married, women, or you know what, I'll put it to you this way. It used to be that men wanted to get married, right? 15, maybe 20 years ago, men were rushing to take women down the aisle. Women weren't having it. So these men had to wait until these women were in their mid to late 30s when they're all used up. Oh, and then they would get married. They have a couple of autistic kids. Then they end up cheating on their husbands, taking all of his present and future earnings, half of it. 10, 15, 20 years later, men are starting to understand, you know what? Marriage it's really a bad bet for men here in the United States. David, do you not understand how the laws are written? Do you not understand that 85% of single parents in this country are women? Do you not understand the bias, the family and criminal, or not criminal, the bias that family courts have towards women? Like, are you not, like, do you not understand the crippling laws that punish men for committing to women in holy matrimony? David, you have to know this. I can't believe that David doesn't understand this. For this man to say that the reason why women are sperm jacking men is because these men are not marrying these women. Might I remind you, David, this woman waited until she was 29. Guys, she waited until she was 29 to sperm jack this dude. Didn't do it at 19. Didn't do it at 18 when she had her miscarriage. Didn't do it at 22, 24, 25. Oh, no. David, women don't want to fucking get married, you fucking idiot. That's the problem. Men would have married women if they wanted to get married. They don't want to get married. This guy is acting like it's the men who are rejecting. Well, men are rejecting women now.
Then he comes back. Bullshit. First of all, they deserve sympathy just for having shitty birth control options. It's the women's fault. They are the ones who don't want to settle down or have kids until they're practically infertile.
Well, there you go, David. There you go. Like, the guy, listen, this guy's a scab, but he absolutely told the truth. Women don't want to settle down until they are practically infertile. This is the truth.
Feminism ruined marriage.
Do you hear how he says this? Feminism ruined marriage. He is reciting this as if this is just preposterous.
Only a fool would get married in this society.
And that is correct.
Okay, can I just say, as a woman...
No, you can't say as a woman. I don't give a fuck what you say, bitch. Well, hold on. Let's listen to what she says.
Woman, there's, of course, the random few outliers, but...
Oh, no.
99% of women that I know,
oh,
no. If they're a feminist or not a feminist, or if they're atheist or Christian or whatever, do not want to ride a penis carousel.
Cassie, you're full of shit. Cassie West, you are full of shit. You're full of shit. You are lying and you know it. Cassie, the outlier is you. Cassie is the outlier. Cassie is the young, beautiful wife who wants to have a husband and kids. Cassie is the outlier, but then she used the typical feminist line in the playbook. Nobody I know is like that. You fucking lying heifer. You expect us to believe that 99.9% of women you know, whether they're feminist or not, aren't sluts riding the cock carousel? Bitch, please. And yeah, I called you a fucking bitch. What are you going to do about it, David? Huh? What are you going to do? Like, these people are just... Cassie's lying. And any woman who says, well, she was about to say, well, I don't know. No, she says 99.9. No, Cassie, sweetie, if you know women who are feminists, they are sluts, okay? They are getting fucked 6 ways from Sunday by guys like myself. That's the truth, and you know it. Cassie, you are the outlier situation. What these guys are talking about, women who are waiting until they're practically infertile to get married, that is the norm. That is the norm. If that wasn't the norm, Cassie, then why are women sperm jacking? Huh? Make sense of that? If 99.9% of women you know, feminist or not, wanted to get married and stay off the cock carousel, then why is sperm jacking and paternity fraud so prevalent? Oh, I know, because you're full of fucking shit. Just because it comes out of your mouth, bitch, does not make it true. The fuck is wrong with you? People like this people like this drive me insane. David is clueless. Like, I'll give David a pass. He just doesn't fucking know. David is he is too ignorant to know his own ignorance. David, you gonna learn one way or the other. Cassie knows. And for Cassie to sit here and perpetuate this outright lie. Listen, women who ride the cock carousel, that's the outlier. Bitch, you know that's not true.
Sell and sleep around and be single and childless when they're 40.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Just listen.
That is not a woman instinct.
Every point.
No, Cassie, it's not a woman instinct. Now that's where she's right. Sleeping around and being childless at 40 is not a woman instinct. But guess what? Feminism is to blame for women ignoring their instincts. You see, Cassie and David, The reason why women who sleep around through their 20s and end up settling down in their 30s, the reason why they're fucking miserable, actually, you know what? The reason why single women who are 38 and living my best life are fucking miserable is because that is that feminine instinct. A woman's instinct is to get married and have children. Everything around us, movies, television, books, commercials, Netflix, YouTube, everything around women tells them to ignore their instincts, ignore the social construct of having a family and kids. Marriage is legalized slavery, they said. If you don't want to have sex with your husband and he pressures you into sex, it's marital rape. For her to sit here and tell us, this is just I can't believe this is unbelievable.
You're thinking right now, trust me.
This is not how women think at all.
Okay. Yes, Cassie. See, this is why. Oh God, Cassie's lying to David. You want to know something? When and if Cassie ever runs around on David, David's gonna be in for a rude awakening. That David is in that type of situation. He's completely clueless. When and if Cassie ever does run around on him, he's one of those dudes that'll do one of two things. He'll either blow his head off or he'll kill his whole family and then himself. Because, dude, guys are doing this because he just doesn't see it. Men are ending their lives because they get fucked over by their wives. This guy is clueless, but he's acting like he has all the answers. God help him.
Okay, all right. So,
oh my goodness.
So then I responded to Adam, women don't want to settle down and have kids because men were being irresponsible pieces of shit first. Men lead women, and most women naturally like to be led. Lacking male leadership is what let modern feminism happen. So
that he's right about. Lack of male leadership has caused feminism to spread. Lack of male leader, dude, women started feminism. When men co-signed on it, that's when it really took off. Let's listen to what he said again.
Responsible pieces of shit first. Men lead women, and most women naturally like to be led. Lacking male leadership is what let modern feminism happen.
So feminism is men's fault, is it, David?
So then he quoted me. He's like...
Okay, whenever he's doing...
Okay, see, this is why we know David is not in charge of his relationship. He let his woman interrupt him. See, David is trying to give off this alpha, my wife is laughing and I'm just so fucking cool. Dude, when you let your wife cut you off, it won't be long before she starts cutting other stuff off. Like closing her legs because she's pissed off at you. You wait and see, my friend.
An accent. That's when you're the other guy.
Well, I'm an accent, but when I'm making fun of it.
Okay,
yeah. So
okay.
He's just like, no. Just an emphatic no.
Oh my God.
They want to sleep around until nobody wants them anymore, and they purposely don't have kids, dude. You just want to blame everything on men.
That is exactly right. David, do you not... I just don't understand how... David is either willfully ignorant. I just don't understand how any man who lives in America can't see this. This dude literally told him what is happening, and just listen.
No. Just an emphatic no. They want to sleep around until nobody wants them anymore.
That's correct. They do.
And they purposely don't have kids, dude. You just want to blame everything on men. Naturally, I laugh reacted again. David, you're a fucking fool, dude. You're a fucking fool, dude. When your wife gets butt fucked by Tyrone, it's not going to be so funny then, is it? Jesus, this guy has zero clue. Absolutely zero clue. I view this more as sad than some kind of heinous crime. The only true victim...
how could this not be a heinous crime?
...in all of this are the children that will now be raised by a single mom.
Yeah. Now that I agree with. But that's not the only victim, David. There are two victims in this scenario. There's the father who got sperm jacked and the kid who's going to be raised by a single mom. You better fucking believe it. This guy, David, he wants to blame everything on men and remove all responsibility from women. David, let me school you on feminism. You seem like a pretty smart guy. I would imagine that you are. Feminism has feminism has three main objectives. Objective number one, to transfer all resources from women to men. Objective number two, remove all sexual restraints from women while placing them on men. Objective number three, removing all, how can I put this? Let me think of how to say this. Objective number three. The third objective of feminism is removing all responsibility, or actually, I'll put it to you this way, is removing all responsibility from women while taking authority away from men. Feminism seeks to take male authority away, but guess what? They want to put the male responsibility. Without authority, there is no responsibility. This is what women want. They want to take all the authority away from men, but then they want to put the responsibility on them. You did that, David. Well, these women wouldn't be sperm jacking men if men like this would marry them. You see how that works?
Men were sleeping around long before women were.
Oh, David. David. So, the reason why women sleep around is because men have slept around. Is that it? A man sleeping around is just as bad as a woman sleeping around. Or they're the same thing? No, they're not the same thing. And David, if you're watching, you instinctively know that if your wife Cassie were a slut, you probably wouldn't have married her and put 2 babies in her. You probably wouldn't have done that. Why? Because you as a man, your masculine hard drive knows that a woman who sleeps around and passes her body around, probably not going to make a good wife and mother. You don't think about this consciously. This is in your subconscious. On the other side, a man who sleeps around is considered attractive and a stud because women want men that other women want. That's how it is. Women don't want inexperienced men, David. Virginal men are not attractive to women. Virginal women are attractive to men. You see, David, the sexual marketplace, sexual attraction is not symmetrical. It is very asymmetrical. The things that attract women to men are not the same things that attract men to women. A woman who sleeps around is a slut, David. A man who sleeps around is a stud. Okay? You get, dude, as far as horse breeding in the wild, everything. One lion propagates the herd. One lion puts babies in 17 different lionesses. One lioness, David, doesn't take the sperm from 17 different lions. You know this, David. You know this. One mare doesn't take the sperm of 17 different horses, but one stud can impregnate 17 mares. It is the natural way of life. Let me put it to you another way, David, in a way you can understand. A wise man once said, a key that can open 1,000 locks is a valuable key. A lock that can be opened by 1,000 keys is useless. It is literally the same thing, David. Men who sleep around are not equal to women who sleep around. Women love men who sleep around. Men do not love women who sleep around. Well, fuck them. But we're not wifing those hoes up. And I'm willing to bet that Cassie was not a slut when you decided to marry her. That's why you married her. And my guess is to be able to snag a hot wife like that, you were probably a little bit of a player. If that isn't your story, then you, once again, are the outlier. Proud of your family, David. Proud of your family. But you and your wife are so willfully, grossly ignorant, it is almost sickening. I would love to debate this guy. I really would. I know he wouldn't because he's gonna come off as, I have better things to do. No, you're fucking scared because you're a coward. You're going back and forth with men who don't have experience with women. Not me, motherfucker. Oh no. I got the receipts, bitch.
And then he contests my claim about men sleeping around long before women. He says, I don't really agree with that. What are you basing this claim on? Literally all of human history, guy. Throughout history, many men had lots of wives. Point me to a time when any significant number of women had multiple husbands.
That's because that's not the way it's supposed to be, David. Again, I just gave you the analogy. One lion propagates his herd. One lioness doesn't run with 17 lions. No. The purpose is to spread your seed, to create a legacy. David, one woman having a bunch of husbands? Dude, who in the hell? I'll put it to you this way, David. You don't believe me? Watch that show, Sister Wives. Look at any article, any video of a man who either has a harem, has more than one wife. The guy is high value. Dan Blazarian. High value men sleep with hot fucking women. Are there relationships where there is one woman who has sex with a bunch of guys? Sure. But those people look like Sloth from fucking Goonies. These are the lowest of the rungs in terms of sexual market value. These are the ugliest, most disgusting people out there, David. That tells you right there. That is not the circle of life. Get the fuck out of here with men had plenty of wives, but women have never had plenty of husbands. There's a fucking reason for that. She doesn't, dude, this is why women are not supposed to be fucking more than one dude, David. You ever heard of bacterial vaginosis?
Now, this guy has since blocked me, so I couldn't get the full resolution. I'd saved the screen grab of the conversation, but I can't get the full resolution pictures he posted. So if you can't see this very well, what it is it says on one side, it says women's reproductive rights before sex and after sex. And on the right, it just says men's reproductive rights before sex and then NA for after sex.
Yep, there you go.
And for women's, it's like abstinence, birth control pill, and it goes through all the different methods, you know. And then for the men's reproductive rights, it just says before sex, abstinence, condoms, vasectomy. So I don't really understand why he posted this, but it becomes clear.
Okay, David, let me explain to you why he posted this. A woman's reproductive, a woman's, and these aren't reproductive rights. These are reproductive options, David, okay? A woman's reproductive rights before sex, dude, all sorts of options. Birth control, right? Birth control. What else is there? The shot. Depo-Provera. What else is there? Women, dude, there's so many forms of birth control for women, but here's where the rubber really meets the road. Women, in terms of options after the sex, that's when it becomes uneven. After the sex, that's why he put NA, David, because if a woman after sex figures out she's in trouble, guess what? She can have an abortion. She can take the Plan B pill. Women have a number of options after sex. Dude, when a man shoots his load in a woman, he's at the mercy of the woman. There is nothing that he can do. That's why he put that there, you ignorant fuck. Like a guy who's supposed to be as smart as you don't know what the fuck he was trying to say? This guy's a fucking idiot, man. This guy is a fucking idiot. Unbelievable. All right, let's continue.
There in a minute. And I did laugh at this.
I did laugh at this.
Dude, women were sluts since day one. WTF are you talking about? And then I wrote, both of those lists should end at abstinence. That's the only reproductive right that actually matters.
Okay, David, for real? You're preaching abstinence to slut? Dude, there are... David, I don't know if you know this, but there is a website called Ashley Madison specifically designed for people who are looking to cheat on their spouses. Tinder, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, Farmers, dude, Match.com, dude, eHarmony, dude, there are dating, no, David, no, David, dude, bro, listen, watch TV. Like, dude, now this is where David is being disingenuous. David is acting like, well, just have abstinence and blah, 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 blah. David, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck is this, 1986? You ignorant dumb shit? You're gonna preach abstinence? If a girl wants to fuck, she's going to get fucked, David. If your wife Cassie wants to fuck, she's going to go and get fucked. Abstinence is this is a very Christian thing. Guess what, David? I don't know if you understand this, but God put us on the earth to procreate. The institution of marriage, that was created by man, David. I don't know if you realize that, but the institution of marriage was created by man. The church created the institution. You want to know why the church created the institution of marriage, David? So that the 80% of beta males who otherwise wouldn't have a shot with women would have a shot with women. Otherwise, 80% of women would be procreating with the top 20% of men, like they did back in the day. Remember those wives that you were talking about? Remember those harems and concubines you were talking about? Yeah, I thought so. So don't come at me with abstinence and this, that, and the other. Oh, no. Abstinence was never an option. The physical purpose of life is reproduction. Women are sluts, David, and you know it.
That's just retarded. If you just want women to be able to F over men. Then I wrote, God, you MGTOW types are the most retarded losers in the world. And then he said, you spelled male feminist wrong. So at this point, I'm realizing this guy legitimately thinks fundamentalist, like hyper-assertive Christian man is a male feminist.
Yeah, David, you are a male feminist. You want to know how I know? Because you're blaming men for the plight of women. You're blaming men for women sperm jacking. You're blaming men for getting sperm jacked. Well, if men would marry women, they wouldn't be in this situation. The reason why women sleep around is because men have been doing it for eons. No. David, you are a male feminist, my friend. The calling card of a male feminist is not holding women accountable for their bad decisions and placing that blame upon men. That, David, is the very definition of a male feminist. I don't give a fuck what fucked up God you serve, my friend. You can call yourself a fundamentalist all you want to. Whatever label you want to give, whatever label you want to give yourself, that's fine with me. You are a male feminist. You don't know it. Your wife kind of does. And in the future, I would really think about not allowing your wife to cut you off during videos.
So funny.
And I realize now that what he's complaining about is that he thinks it's like sexist, I guess, or terrible that men don't have more birth control options. It's like, maybe that just has something to do with reality. It's easier to prevent pregnancy in women than to prevent men spraying out fertile sperm. Like,
okay, that's legit, but that's the advantage, David. That's the advantage. Women have so many more options in terms of birth control, David. Men have 2 options. Abstinence, three options. Abstinence, vasectomy, condoms. That's it. Women have an ocean. Dude, every other week there's a new form of birth control coming out for women. Women decide which people get born and which people do not. And of course, if we leave anything to women, in general, we're in big fucking trouble.
Well, yeah, they expect us to get with the reality of our biological clocks. Well, why don't you get with the reality that, like, you have less options when it comes to birth control?
Well, and it's like,
Cassie, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, Cassie, sweetie, sit there, look pretty, and shut the fuck up. Like, you're not adding anything to the conversation. All you're doing is running your mouth. That's all you're doing. Shut up. Let your ignorant ass husband continue to put his fucking foot in his mouth. Jesus.
If you're viewing birth control,
of course you don't use birth control, bitch. You're fucking married.
Control in a proper context, it's not like, oh, there's only birth control for women. That's something that people just want to sleep around with no regard for anything.
David, you make a point, but you want to know something? Women do it too. Namely, the woman in the article. She stopped taking birth control for the explicit purpose of getting pregnant unbeknownst to the guy. Now, David, I will give you this. This guy, Tom, this is partially his fault. You should never, ever believe a woman who tells you she's on birth control. You must always wrap your cock. But let's not blame. There was somebody at my door. But let's not pretend that the lion's share of the responsibility falls on the woman. The woman lied about being on birth control, and she took a raw dick. Yeah, I'm gonna assign fucking percentages to it. I'm gonna give 25% to the man, 75% to the woman.
Normal married couples like us view birth control as something a couple would use together. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, my wife uses the pill. Granted, we would avoid that because it would have negative effects on her body. But
good man, David.
Right.
We would be using the pill together. So like a condom, it's not just like, I got to use the condom, reducing sensitivity. It's like, oh, well, we're using a condom because we don't want to get pregnant right now. So after he accused me of being a male feminist for like the 3rd time, I wrote, What's wrong with abstinence until marriage, then having kids with your wife, then getting a vasectomy when you decide to be lame and call it quits?
Okay, David, very good question and very valid. But you're forgetting the woman! This dude didn't knock a bitch up of this was not his plan. She sperm jacked him, David! Like, dude, this is why he's calling you a male feminist. You are purposely turning this around to make this look like it's the guy's fault. This was this woman's plan. You tell men to be abstinent and to wait to have sex until they're married. Here's the problem. Women don't want men like that. If a woman finds out, oh, he's a virgin and is waiting to saving himself for marriage, no, not attractive, David. Not attractive. Then on the other side of the tracks, the women are going out here and getting fucked. Women are not practicing abstinence, David. No, they're not. Let's not pretend that they are. So for you to tell this guy that men should practice abstinence, but women can do whatever they want, you are a fucking fraud, my friend.
As in, call having kids quits, because most people are lame and they stop having kids after like 1, 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, he's gonna go for the gold.
Yeah, we want like 6. Like big families are cool. I don't know if I want to be like Duger family with 19 kids.
No, man, but now like on some real shit, what he said is 100% right, man. And again, dude, I give David and Cassie all the credit in the world. Dude, they have a beautiful family. I think they have 2 kids. I think she's pregnant with their 3rd. They want to have a big family. They're not going to do birth control, right? I get that. But what these two don't understand is that the world does not operate like you do. You two are the outliers. You two are the outliers. You are not the norm. These guys that you're going back and forth with on the internet, these guys aren't talking about some random fringe activity. No, this is what's happening. David, you are very fortunate that you are married to a beautiful woman who wants to have 6 kids with you. You're fortunate that you're married to a beautiful woman who wants to say fuckable after she has kids. Consider yourself lucky, my friend. But it ain't like that for most guys, David, and that's what men are pissed off about. Don't sit here and invalidate the feelings of millions of men just because you got lucky. I'm not hating on you, man. Like, dude, like you are the envy of a lot of men. Like, dude, every man would love to have a wife who looks like you, who looks like her. She adores you. She loves you. But that's not the case. And oh, by the way, David, if you keep up this little act, if you keep agreeing with her, if you keep this male feminist persona going on and don't realize it, you guys might get to 6 kids, but a percentage of those kids might not be yours.
But like 6, 7, maybe 8 kids.
Well, luckily I'm so old that won't be a problem.
You're not old. You're beautiful.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. You're not old. You're beautiful. See, this is why she's going to fuck around on him. You're not old. You're beautiful. Oh, yeah. Keep that up, David.
So, what's wrong with more advanced technology, Luddite? What's wrong is you idiot feminists ruined marriage by making it a terrible choice for men. Another problem is, like I said, the women don't want to settle down and have kids until they're like 36 years old, dude. Hence why the birth rate is only 1.7. A lot of them only want 1 kid, too. First off, Adam, I don't have a problem with technology in the slightest, but that's not what you're talking about.
Yes. Bravo, David. You know what the word Luddite means. Oh, you fucking...
You're bitching about there not being a nice, easy way for you to have consequence-free sex, and that's what I take umbrage with.
David, I agree with you. But it's not just the men who want consequence-free sex. It's also the women. And guess who has more consequence-free sex than the other sex? That's right, David. It's women. You continue to point the finger at men for the problem that women have directly caused.
He's mad because he can't go around using people for his own pleasure. Like, he's literally mad that he's not able to have an easy way to use people.
I hate these MGTOW people. They're such losers. Okay, let's go on.
Oh, what a jerk.
Secondly, are you seriously calling me a male feminist?
Yes, David, he is.
Lots of laugh emojis for that one. There are plenty of women who want to get married younger and have more kids, and plenty more who would be willing to get married younger.
Yeah, David, where are these women? Where are these women? Yeah, I'll wait. David, where are these women? You want to know something? There are thousands of young women who would love nothing more than to settle down, get married, and have kids. There are thousands of women, but David, this is a percentage game, my friend. The percentage of women who want to sport fuck their way through their 20s compared to the women who want to get married young and have kids young, probably 90-20. David, 9 out of 10 women that an American man meets, 9 out of 10 American women don't want to have kids young. 9 out of 10 American women don't want to settle down and get married. No, what you're talking about are 10%. You want to know something? It's probably even lower than that.
And have more kids if a man would step up and actually lead them that direction. Yes, you're just another men just need to man up feminist retard. Pretending marriage is the same as it used to be when it's...
David, this voice is making you look like a fucking idiot.
Total bullshit for men now. Well, today I learned that being a fundamentalist Christian makes me a feminist.
Yeah, David, it does. Because Christianity is as feminist as it ever was. And if you don't believe me, ask your fellow Christians. All right. Let's take a look at the super chats here. We're about halfway through the video. God, that's a long fucking video. Who the fuck is calling? Motherfuckers never call me unless I'm on the air. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Let's see what we got here. Wow, you guys are... Okay, there we go. Man, you guys are so generous, man. You guys are so you guys are generous, dude. F Mora, $2 says Magtal, my goodness. Listen, I'm not gonna bust the guy's balls on the pronunciation, but this just proves, again, the fact that he says Magtal, this proves that he hasn't done his research. He doesn't watch MGTOW videos. Otherwise, he would know that it's pronounced MGTOW. And the pronunciation is immaterial, but the pronunciation is a sign that he doesn't know who he's dealing with or why these men think the way they do. King Life, $5, says Ronnie Coleman helped a lesbian friend and her spouse by allowing them his sperm. Then they put him on child support to get his money. Oh my God, are you serious? Dude, I did not hear about that. I didn't hear about that. Link, $5, says it's all fine and dandy until you lose your wife to Kevin in sales. Yeah, if David needs to wake up, or David is going to have a very, very, very rude awakening. Dude, and you can absolutely positively take that to the fucking bank. Wolfney01, $5, says Magtow equals scabs. Big thanks to Danny H, who is a new member. I appreciate the support. Ace and Spades, $2, says, I'll take you to the ATM. I just got that. Ha! Angry Man 85 says, fucking traders like this dude. Yeah, right? $10, appreciate that. Phil, $2, says, this is the guy that brags about having a 2003 BMW. Tell Jaleel, $2, says she's laughing because of how far he's fallen. Simp! Rob L with the $2 super chat. Give me 1 second here. I think it's actually a $5 super chat. Wait, is it $2 or $5? $2. Says, bro, these simps and male feminists boil my blood. They do, man. They do. Feminists who want to go back and forth with me, they get under my skin a little bit, but I don't really mind them too much because that's what they're going to do. Women are never going to admit unflattering things about themselves. This is just their nature. This is just how they are. This is just how they are. King Nick, $5.67, says, you know it's serious when Donovan looks and speaks into the camera. Yeah, I want David to know, yes, I am talking about you, my friend. And David strikes me as the kind of guy who he would never call in and he would never come on to the show to debate me because he's afraid, but he would point out all the reasons as to why he can't or won't. You're a fucking coward, David. I can tell just by looking at your body language. King Sargon, $5, said, this mega simp, has he done any research? Google is free. Lavord, 1980, $2, says he's Derek Jacksoning us. The people's asshole, $20, says David is a male feminist. David's wife is losing respect for him because of it. David is on his way to being cheated on. Don't be like David. David, your wife is going to cheat on you if you don't grow a spine, my friend. Ice Dragon Kid, welcome to Chat Privilege. J Prot, welcome to Chat Privileges. By the way, the phone lines are open. 914-205-5356. Again, that is 914-205-5356. Give me a call if you have any thoughts. David, if you were watching, I really need you to call me. You fucking idiot. J-Pot, $5. Has David ever heard the saying, nice guys finish last? MGTOWs all started out being too nice and learned their lesson. Well said. Silent Forever, $10, says keep spreading that truth. Thank you very much for that. Momo, with the $10 super chat, says you're the Martin Luther King for men in 2020. You're like a wise big brother to me. Thank you for all of your advice, Donovan. Know that you are one of the biggest assets us men have in these confusing times. Thanks a lot for that, man. I appreciate that. I love hearing stuff like that, man. I always like to hear those personal stories when guys tell me, hey, man, like you helped me change my life, or hey, man, because of you, I'm not making mistakes with women anymore. I love hearing that stuff. El Baracho, another $5. Appreciate that. C-Dub, $2. Says male feminist card equals step up. Exactly. S-Man, the newest member of Chat Privileges. Tyson Jaleel with $5 Canadian says his wife won. She has a dude that idolizes her and will believe whatever she says. If she cheats, he will never know it, and it will be easy for her. Man. And listen, if you guys go, listen, her name is Cassie West. It starts with a K. This girl's hot. Like, dude, David's a lucky man. A guy like David is a lucky man. Guys who act like David, guys who appear to worship and apologize for women, don't end up with women that look like Cassie. Oh no. David got lucky. David is punching far above. You want to know something? David's a good-looking guy. There's just one problem. David doesn't lift weights and he worships women. Ay. I answer some more of your super chats. I take more of your calls right after this. Aren't you sick and tired of being tricked by bad girls pretending to be good girls? Who isn't, right? Crack the female code with Womanese 101, what she says versus what she means. Learn to tell the difference between a woman who wants to sleep with you and a woman who wants you to think she does when she knows she does not. Master the ability to determine whether or not she's cheating, thinking about cheating, or setting you up to dump you for the guy she's cheating with. Gain the ability to recognize the most common phrases women use to mislead and manipulate you. Separate yourself from 97% of men by acquiring the superpower of translating female communication on May 1st when I release Womanese 101. Sign up to be notified of its release. The link is in the description. Hey, what happened to the music? There we go. Welcome back to the show, guys. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate your support. 914-205-5356 is the number to call if you want to get in on the show. Not going to have the phone lines open for too long. So get in while you can. Right after the show, I am going to be doing my Love is Blind breakdown. That is going to be over on SharpeStream. That is sharpestream.com. Again, that is sharpestream.com. I'm actually streaming there live right now. So if you want to head over there early, I'll probably spend another 20, maybe 25 minutes over here taking phone calls. But for now, let's go ahead and go to the phone lines. Let us go to area code 868. Area code 868. You're on Live with Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, yo, Donovan, you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yo, Donovan, this is Jerry from Trinidad.
Hey, Jerry, how you doing, bud?
Huge fan.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Donovan, I got something I got to get off my chest. I'm going to say I love you, bro. No homo. But the ideas that you are saying, Donovan, is very, very important to guys. I grew up, and all these different topics you talk about, I got into Coach Greg Adams, Anthony Spade, these guys.
Good guys.
You guys are amazing. You guys need to keep this up. I grew up and, my dad never gave me this information. I never got this information from uncles. They had friends, and they never gave you this information. But even in Trinidad, all these topics that you talk about, Donovan, I've seen these things from since early ages, or like teenagers going out to clubs and seeing girls sleeping around, and no one says anything, and they sleep around there. I even have girls come up and say, like, I met a guy today, and I went in his car and I slept with him, and I was just like, Are you going to tell me anything? Like, what are you supposed to say to this, Donovan? And I've been with younger girls, I've been with older girls, I've been with girls my own age, and it's the same thing like what you say, Donovan. It's the same fucking thing you say all the time. The games never stop.
Nope.
The games stop, like, I think just like what you said, like when women reach like 40-something, like I was always wondering, like, when do women like get pleasant? I realize like older women are so pleasant. Like, when does it happen? Young girls are fucked up.
Yep.
Girls my age are fucked up. And then the older women, like, at the same time, like what they're saying, like when they reach the wall and they decide, like, oh my God, my time is running out. They're fucked up.
I love
but
it.
What's happening, Donovan? What I'm trying to say, like, please don't get angry at this guy, because I think I was a blue pill monkey chimpanzee like David growing up until I just wanted, like, why is this not making sense? Just like what you're saying with the red pill.
Right.
And what's going on right now, just to go off the topic with the bear bug.
Okay.
This bear bug that's happening is even happening in Trinidad. It's happening all over the world. I got some friends in South Africa. I'm hearing what's happening.
Right.
This bear bug is doing the work that you're trying to save the guys for. This bear bug is getting rid of the ignorant idiots. Just like when you're saying, like, they're telling you this is going on, they still want to have parties. Donovan, I love you. I don't want to take up any more time. Keep doing what you're doing, and you did save my life. I wish I knew about you 10 years ago, and I wouldn't be in this shitty fucking position that I'm in now. I love you. Yes. Keep it up, bro. Take what I'm telling you. You are my hero.
Thanks, man. Hey, I love you too, Jerry. I appreciate the call. I love it, and I love getting guys that are impassioned like that. Like, you can tell that Jerry is the kind of guy that gets it. He's been through the pain. He's fought the wars. He's been through the fire, man. I love guys like Jerry, man. I love it when guys call me up and tell me, Donovan, what you're doing matters. You guys have no idea how gratifying it is to hear people tell me that what I'm doing makes a difference. It's unbelievable, man. Because I'll tell you what, man, like when I got around maybe like the episode 250s, I started to think, am I really making a difference? Like, it's like, I don't know, self-doubt starts to creep in. I mean, I'm only human. Like, am I really helping men out here? Or am I just another YouTube idiot out here running my mouth about women? And it's so gratifying to hear finally that guys are like, hey, don't stop what you're doing. What you're doing matters. You're out here saving lives, man. I appreciate that. Somebody says David is on the phone like DS. I don't know if David is in here. Oh, he is. Oh, David West. Oh, dude. David West is actually in the chat right now. David West is in the chat right now, and I have no idea what his number is. Oh, he super chatted me. I'm an idiot. David West with the $2 super chat says, I'm on the phone if you want to talk. Area code 541. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to shout out a couple more super chats. Mark is blind with the $5 super chat says, maybe this was already stated, but will Womanese 101 be released as a physical book or no? If not, what red pill books do you recommend? No. Womanese 101 is going to be... Womanese 101 it's a course. It's not going to be a physical book. It's going to be a digital course. And it is literally a course. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to be like Rosetta Stone. But I'm going to tell you what women say versus what they mean. It's almost going to be like my how to master the game and how to build a quality woman from the ground up. So again, May 1st is when it comes out, and you'll see it then. John Bachman with the $10 super chat says, Iron Rule of Tomasi number 5. Read it, love it, live it. By the way, this dude probably pisses sitting down in allegiance with his pedestalized wife. Well, you know what? We are going to find out. We're going to find out what the deal really is. David, I think I've got you on the line now. Is this you?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. All right, David. Listen, you've heard me berate you here for like the last 45 minutes. I'll give you the first crack. What do you have?
Well, first I haven't heard all of it. It was kind of funny. I was out doing a job, and my wife tried to call me, and she has like no self-control over calling me when I'm working, and I'm like, stop calling me. And I hung up on her, and then as I was leaving the job, I called her back to see what was up, and she watches your show. She watches a lot of stuff. I actually did an episode on my YouTube channel a couple weeks ago addressing some content from Mr. Atheist because she hate watches him too. And so I made a whole video about that. And we were thinking about I was thinking about for my channel, making a video about some of your content. So she was freaking out. She was like, oh my gosh, David, we are on Donovan's show right now. And then I started streaming it.
I did this.
It was half an hour ago, maybe.
Yeah, I did this. I actually did that on purpose. I sent her I sent her a friend request, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that because I don't really want to be her friend on Facebook. So I just put a link down there. I said, hey, look, I think you should watch this. I didn't think she would see it. She did it, and so now. Well,
it's funny. She's been watching your show for, I don't know, a month or two now, somewhat regularly. So
okay,
she saw it.
Okay, so here's my assertion about you, David. I don't know if you realize this, but you are a male feminist, my friend. Just because you don't call yourself a male feminist doesn't mean you are one. Now, in my opinion, you might not know.
I think you're very off base. I think if you heard some more of my beliefs, you'd realize that.
Listen, I promise I'll give you the floor. But I'm going to tell you why I think you're a male. I'm going to tell you why I think you're a male feminist. Because you, in that video that I'm watching now, you take the blame from women and put it almost solely on men. Take the sperm jacking or spurglery for instance. These women, and oh, by the way, David, this is a normal thing, right? You specifically said, hey, if these men were marrying these women wouldn't have to do this. You want to know something, David? You're 100% right, but here's where you are wrong. 10, 15 years ago, and this is what I talked about earlier in the video, guys wanted to marry women. Guys in their 20s and early 30s wanted to get married. The problem is women did not. So when they get to be in their late 20s, early 30s, they think, oh shit, the men that used to fuck me don't want me anymore. How can I have a kid with a quote-unquote alpha male? I know. I'll have unprotected sex with a guy I want to have a baby with, and unbeknownst to him, I'll stop taking birth control. So that's my spiel there. So I'll let you have the floor, and you can tell me why you think you're not a male feminist.
So I will give it to you that I do think there's a little bit of a problem in Christianity, especially the way that Christianity has been very feminized and secularized and watered down and turned more liberal. There is a problem where they always want to act like women are angels who never do anything wrong. And I don't really think I'm doing that in this video. If anything, my tendency to blame men before I blame women is more of like a condescension to women. I feel like there's kind of a chicken and an egg scenario here where you keep saying, oh, well, these women, they don't want to get married. They don't want to do this. Yeah, because a bunch of pussy men for the last 100, 200 years have been giving into that and giving them more power. If men didn't give feminists power and didn't let them push the world this way, it wouldn't happen. So
that I agree with.
What's that?
I said that I agree with. I agree with you 100%. Women can't do anything without men, including feminism. So I will agree with you on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So about the sperm, about the sperm jacking.
90 seconds.
And don't worry, David, that's not 90 seconds until this ends. If you guys want to get in on the show, you have 90 seconds to do it. If you're in the queue, you'll get on the show. 914-205-5356. Again, that's 914-205-5356. Here's one thing I will give you credit for, David. You have a beautiful wife. Your wife is hot. Real talk. She's a good-looking woman. You're one of the fortunate few whose wife actually gives a shit about what she looks like after she gets pregnant. You guys want to have 5 or 6 kids? Honestly,
60
man,
seconds.
You and her are living the American dream. But I think where you specifically are severely misguided, you guys are not the norm. You guys are the outliers. Your wife said,
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to check your wife because your wife said, and I quote, well, women who get on the penis carousel, those are the outliers. There is no way she can actually believe that's true. What about you?
I don't really think she's saying that women don't get on it, that's the outlier.
That's
I think
exactly
she's
what
saying
she said.
that isn't.
No, that's
women,
exactly what
like,
she said.
That's no little girl's dream is to get on that.
No,
People are
check
getting
this out,
on that
David.
because we live in a messed up society.
There you go. You're right. It's not, no little girl grows up. Listen, you've seen it. I have sisters. I don't know if you have sisters, but when I was younger, 5, 6 years old, my sisters used to have little play weddings.
10 seconds.
Every little girl wants to get married, but something happens when they hit puberty and they see the feminist world. Now, all of a sudden, everything around them is telling them getting married is institutional slavery. It's legalized slavery. You should never have to kowtow to a man and this and that and the other. By the time they're 18, 19 years old, they are literally shamed out of doing what their feminine instincts are telling them to do. David, that is the norm. That is not the outlier. You want to know how I know this is the norm? Because any woman on Facebook who says, hey, I'm young, I'm pretty, and I'm a mother, she is eviscerated. She gets nothing but hate. Oh, you're a slave to your husband, and how can you live and be oppressed and this, and that, and the other? So I'm telling you, man to man, your woman Cassie was wrong when she said that women who jump on the cock carousel are the outlier. No. That is the norm.
Did I lose you? Hello?
Nope, I'm still here. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, but I mean, none of that would have happened if it weren't for men building a public school system and men building a bunch of bullshit socialist social safety nets. Like, all of those things that men did enabled us to get to this point.
That I agree with. As far as the feminist, and I guess you're talking about like welfare and the government and all this other kind of stuff. If women have children out of wedlock, they are literally taken care of. Free room, free housing, free food, free healthcare, all that other kind of stuff. But here's the thing, David, and I'll agree with you. Feminism is every bit men's fault as it is women's fault. But let's not pretend that women were just innocent little bystanders. Guess what, David? Feminism was the woman's idea. Now, lack of male leadership caused men to co-sign on it, but men didn't say, women, you need to be feminists. You guys need to stop vacuuming floors, stop having kids, sport fuck your way through your teens and 20s, and get married in your 30s. No, that was the idea of a woman. Men co-signed on this. So women are every bit as responsible for the state of the sexual marketplace as men. Do you agree or disagree?
No, I do agree. I mean, that's why I was saying earlier, I think there is a little bit of a problem with like feminized, liberal, modern Christianity, where they don't ever want to blame women for anything. And it's like, oh, if your teenage couple has sex, oh, it was clearly the guy's fault. We're going to run the guy off with a shotgun. Like, no, the girl went along with it like 99% of the time. And it probably didn't even require all that much pressure, because as a Christian, I believe that men and women are both, we both have sin natures. And if you go back to the very beginning, I mean, this problem was there in the very beginning. Eve sinned and Adam was not enough of a man to tell her to knock it off. He went along with it.
Okay.
So, I mean, men have been enabling women for a long time, and women have always had a sin nature just like men do. So, and I guess I agree with what you're saying there.
Yeah, listen, and I'll put it to you this way, and I don't know if you've ever heard of it this way. A woman's, how can I put this? A woman's default programming is self-destruction, David. If women are given complete control over, and this, listen, I'm not saying that women are terrible. I'm not saying they're bad. Women just are. When women lack leadership, they are destructive. Women are like children, my friend. If you give women complete control over anything, they destroy it. You give them complete control over the sexual marketplace, they destroy it. If they're raised by single mothers, they destroy it. They're in complete control of the sexual marketplace and themselves, they completely destroy it. So again, putting anything in the hands of a woman is never a good idea without strong male leadership. So now that you and I have had this discourse, and I give you all the credit in the world. I got to tell you, man, I didn't think you had the balls to call in. I really didn't. I think that you were going to punk out. I thought you were going to bitch out.
That made me laugh. I'm known as like the most argumentative, debate-happy person in my entire friend group. So,
well, it doesn't. It didn't seem that way with your wife. It looks like you acquiesce to her more often than not. Am I wrong?
Honestly, that's because it's her show, and I can very easily dominate a conversation. So when I'm on like someone else's show, I'll try to be respectful of that and tone it back. I mean, I have my own YouTube show where I just, ramble for hours. So I didn't want to just do that on hers.
Well, listen, I'm not married, and I'm not a father, and I'm not really going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do in your marriage. But David, you're a man, she's a woman. You're the leader, she's the follower. If you want to cut her off in the middle of her show, I can assure you it might piss her off, but she's going to be okay because get this, David, I think your wife loves you. Your wife loves you, dude. She loves you. She's going to acquiesce to you. Okay,
she does.
So right, and I have no doubt. So you might ruffle her feathers a little bit by cutting her up, be like, hold on, sweetie, I wasn't done yet. But guess what? At the end of the day, she's still going to give you that blowjob. I'll give you the last word.
Well, no, it's not even that. The reason is just that it's her channel. People are there to watch her, and so I want to make sure she has time to get her 2 cents in, because I could literally just turn the whole thing into my show, and I don't want it to be my show because she is not nearly as skilled a cinematographer and video editor as I am. So I want some distance there from her production value.
Okay, very good. He is David West. You guys can subscribe to him on YouTube. I think your YouTube channel is called Bucking the System, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, if you search Buck the System or David Kirk West, you'll find me pretty easy.
Okay, very good. Listen, David, you and I may have fundamental disagreements, but listen, you have my respect, my friend. I appreciate you calling in and facing the fire, and good luck to you, man.
I'd be happy to come on again.
Excellent. David West decided to call in. Holy shit, man. Like, this week, I have gone in on 2 different YouTubers, and they both decided to call in. So, hey, man. Listen, I got to give it to you. Listen, there it is. Buck the Trend. You guys can subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's actually got and he's a gun guy, which is good. He's definitely a gun guy. I like that. So yeah, David and I might not have, I don't know, maybe his demeanor on this particular video that I did isn't indicative of their marriage, because it does appear that his wife loves him, although there were signs that there could be a little bit of a compromise, though we never know. I try to be fair. David seems like a man's man, but it's good that he called in and set the record straight. It would appear that he and I are similar-minded. He acknowledged the fact that, yes, feminists are not innocent. They are not innocent. And no, I don't regret anything I've said about either one of them on my show. If they have a problem with it, they can see me in the streets. Not really, but you guys get it. Okay, very good. Man, that was crazy. All right, good stuff. Let's go back to the phone lines. Let us go to area code 352. Area code 352. You're on live at Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Donovan. This is Chris from Los Angeles.
Hey, Chris. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man. I need your help, though.
What's up?
So I read your book about how to disqualify a woman for a relationship.
Okay.
And there was a couple things that I had concerns with one of the girls that I'm dating. I wanted to run it by you, see what you thought. So
let's hear it.
What do you make of when a woman wants to be choked and tied up, and then I later found out that she's saying that she was molested? Would you consider both those black flags? And also, she's been in therapy for like the last 2 years and is attempting, some type of, because I've gone through therapy myself for past trauma, and it really helped me. So I wanted to get your take on how you thought about therapy in general, and if you thought, type of situation where you just cut and run, or if people can be helped. And, just wanted your 2 cents on that.
Let me ask you a question here. What is she in therapy for? Has she told you what she's in therapy for specifically?
She says that her uncle, molested her or something.
Okay. If what she's saying is true, that is, the fact that she's in therapy could be a crimson flag, because any woman that's in therapy is there for a very good reason. Not your fault, but not your problem. If her uncle really did molest her, there is nothing you can do about that. That is a black flag. You do not, listen, you can fuck her, do not commit. Now, the fact that she wants to be tied up and choked, that's every woman, right? Like, every woman has a secret desire to be dominated, whether they were molested as children or not. So that in and of itself, that's not a black flag. What makes her, what disqualifies her automatically for any sort of long-term relationship or any sort of commitment from you is the fact that she was molested as a child by her uncle or a relative or whoever. Even if it weren't true, Chris, even if she were lying about being molested, guess what? She's still radioactive, because if she can falsely accuse one person, she can falsely accuse you. I can't say whether or not she is telling the truth. Chances are she probably is if she's in therapy for that. But there is nothing. Listen, my heart goes out to the girl. Like being molested by a trusted I can't even imagine that. Because fortunately for me, I didn't have to go through that. But any woman that goes through that, my heart goes out to her. But Chris, my friend, you might want to help her. Women like this cannot be helped. She's going to, and listen, she has self-destructive tendencies, and they manifest themselves through sex. The tying up and being choked, that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's every woman. Women like her need violent, almost borderline, they need some pretty radical sex to keep them aroused, number one. Number two, women who get molested tend to look for love in many other different forms, as in more than one man. So again, you can do whatever you want, but if you are going to commit to a woman who is in therapy for having been molested by her uncle, that is never, ever a good idea. Never, ever a good idea. Thanks for the call, Chris. I appreciate the call. Let's go to area code 713. Area code 713, you're on Live at Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Beastly Nerd out of Houston. What's up, Donovan?
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Good, good. I just want to say, with David, man, hand clap to you for calling in.
Straight up.
Into the Lions Den.
Straight up.
Donovan's 2 for 2, man. 2 for 2. But, man, I just want to say, man, like, it not so much that he seems to kind of have an understanding about this shit, but one thing, it's the guys who think like him that don't and believe the myth of the good girl shit.
Right.
Like you said, the church promotes this good stuff. And, you know, my red pilling, I got red pilled, you know, just through life and my different experiences with women and watching other people. And I'm going to try to be quick when I explain this.
Okay.
Like I said, my red pill, like my red pill, where I really got red pill was in the fight game because I'm in the MMA aspect, teach martial arts and all that shit. And and one of the things that when I was coaching the young boys that come in, like the teenagers, you know, playing on their phones, chatting to the girl, we used to say, hey, man, put the phone down. If she like you, she'll call you back.
Right.
And then I explain to them why I say that. I say, man, the number one killer of a guy's fight careers is women. They either got one or more girls running behind them, or they chasing behind one or more girls.
Right.
And it's usually the guy chasing behind the one girl. Now, I didn't recently had to watch a good friend of mine get divorced because she was cheating on them with the guy that they had been helping out since high school.
No. Oh my God.
They was going on trips together. And the fucked up thing is she already didn't respect him because, like, there was a situation where he wanted to go to Vegas, you know, during International Fight Week.
Yeah.
And she told him, no, I'm going to go skydiving with my friends. Guess what? She ends up halfway across the country skydiving with her friends while he's in Vegas.
Oh, wow.
So the respect wasn't already there. Another guy I knew, really good friend of mine, I watched this man blow not only a title fight, but a fucking UFC contract, bro.
Oh, please tell me that's not true, dude.
Because the chick he was fucking, and I would watch this girl basically just run him. Turns out she was cheating on him with the dude that was the neighbor to our former coach. And our former coach's wife, Sister Hood Uber Alice, knew about the shit and didn't tell nobody.
Jesus Christ, man.
And so yeah, so the guys, it's not so much David, but the guys who think like David, that these good girl shit. And it's like one thing I want to remind him and everybody else that's new to this shit. Remember, marriage as an institution was not about love and abstaining from abstinence. Remember, it was about the acquisition of in-laws and the consolidation of power and wealth. That's what marriage was originally about.
Yep.
So just to remind people that. But anyway, Donovan, that's all I had to say. Love what you do. You are needed. You and the many men like you in this sector, in this sphere are. Appreciate it, man. Have a nice day, brother.
You too, man. Hey, thank you for the call, Beastly Nerd. And yeah, listen, again, shout out to David. And I'm going to tell you what I'll tell you what I'm going to do, man. At the end of this video, I'm actually going to take this video down off of YouTube. And that's not something that I do too often. But the reason I'm going to take it down is because David appeared to be very, I don't want to say David he might be red-pilled, but he's certainly not like the person that I talked to just now is not the person that I saw in the video, right? Now, of course, he made the excuse, hey, it's her show. I don't want to overshadow her, even though he did do most of the talking. But I think David has earned, I think he's earned my respect in that regard. So I think I am going to take down the video. I will, however, post the conversation between him and myself. So what I'll do is I'm going to take this video down again, just to show him and his wife a little bit of respect, right? Again, they're a good family. I'm not really worried about the Christian stuff. They're a good nuclear family. They appear to love each other very much. They want to have a big family. Listen, man, the guy called in. He stepped into the lion's den. His wife watches my show, whatever the case may be. But I think I will extend that courtesy. I think I'm gonna now. I'll take this off and I'll make this video available to my patrons. So the only people that are gonna have access to this show are gonna be my patrons. But I will make public the conversation between me and him. David, it's just confusing. He was totally a different person on the phone than what he was on the video. It blew me away. I totally expected him to come on and joust with me, and he didn't. He appeared to know what he was talking about with regards to how things really are. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I will give him the benefit of the doubt in that regard. All right, back to the phone lines. Area code 802. Area code 802, you're on live at Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Donovan. This is Debson. I'm calling from Vermont.
Hey, Debson. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Doing good, man. But thanks for this show, man. Like, I really appreciate what you are doing. So, you know, I have something I want to tell you. I have one of my cousins. This is why usually, like, when you're talking to some guys and you're telling them, like, hey, I've said the red pill, stop being a simp, they don't get it till they're burning the fire and they learn it the hard way. I have one of my cousins. He get a visa student to come to have a master degree in the U.S. But he has a girl that they were friends back then when they were in Haiti. So the girl is a lawyer right now, and the girl wanted to get pregnant. So, but she wanted to go to a bank sperm. And when he met my cousin, he was like, "Oh, well, I was going to a bank sperm to do it, but you're a nice guy, you're smart, you're intelligent. Instead of doing that, why don't you give me your sperm? Then I will get myself pregnant, but you will not be a father. I will just consider it as the bank sperm."
Okay.
Guess what happened?
What happened?
She fucking put him on child support right now.
Oh, dude. Are you serious, man?
She fucking, yeah. Yo, this guy is fucking pissed. He want to kill himself. And yeah. I was like, and you know what?
Dude.
What's crazy? Like, I tried to follow you years ago. I used to send you a link to him to listen to you. I was like, no, I'm not gonna listen to stuff like that. So, oh my gosh, you know, now he's depressed. Like, he even drank. He's starting to drink. He didn't used to drink because it's like,
oh no, now he's picking up bad habits.
Not for
Jesus.
shit like that.
Oh man, this is Jesus.
And the crazy thing that happened, like, you know, like every lawyer that he talked to, they said like, there's not big hope. There's not big hope because, like, hey, it's your sperm, that's your kid.
Damn, dude. So what's gonna happen with him? I mean, is he doing okay? Like, what's the, or have you not heard from him since?
He's doing okay. But he's not really okay. Yeah, like,
sure. I mean, who's gonna be, right?
But I mean, I think he will get, because all the family, like, we back him up, so support him. But I mean, like, he's already in the fire right now. You know, he's already in the fire. So the girl, like, put him on child support. There's not much we can do. Like, you know.
Shit. God damn, that's sad to hear, man. Well, thanks for the call, Debson in Vermont. That's a sad story, man. And this stuff happens all the time, guys. This happens all the time. Unbelievable. Let me read off some super chats before we get back to the phone lines. John B. with the $5 super chat says, of course, the spineless simp is from the state of Oregon. John actually texted me, too. This guy, dude, David pissed off, he pissed off John more than he pissed me off. The Steel Curtain with the $10 super chat says, in the immortal words of Undead Chronic, David suffers from a bad case of bitch think. Hope he better hope the chickens don't come home to roost. Hashtag this won't age well. John B says, ask this simp where in Oregon he's from. He's in my area code. Okay. Chief Rocka, $20. says, for a woman who has been in a relationship with a guy for years and comes off the pill without informing her boyfriend is wrong. Also, trick babies have been born and are being born to those who are married as well. That's very true. This is not just indicative of single women who are past the wall. This is indicative of all women, married or not. Hashtag paternity fraud. ZZ Hades Z with the $2 super chat says, feminist invaded churches, their men are simps. David acknowledged that. New York's Ninth Wonder says David is backtracking on his points when his wife is not around him. I don't know. Like, he handled himself well. Like, David was well-spoken. I don't know. I can't draw a beat on the guy because the guy on the phone was not the guy that was on the screen. John B, another $5 super chat. This dude is flip-flopping 180 degrees from how he kowtowed to his wife in that video. Guys, I'm intimidating on the phone because you guys know that I don't really take a lot of bullshit. When Joy Isabella called me up, within the first 30 seconds, she was already apologizing to me. So, listen, I wait for the day where somebody wants to actually come on and joust with me. I've had guys try to do that. Maybe my track record speaks for itself. The Kyle Man 999 says, this has to be the best content out there to date. Bravo, Donovan. Keep up the good work. You are truly changing men's lives for the better. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. New York's Nice Wonder says to see more of David receipts. Dude, David's wife is hot. She's hot, guys. Like, listen, I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you. Like, dude, that chick she's like a 7.5, 8. Pretty face, nice body. Like, she's a bad bitch. Rob L with $2 says, bro, he was backpedaling the whole call. Yeah, he was, wasn't he? The Steel Curtain says, a 2A guy. Well, there's one good thing about him. Technomage B5 says, the real fire David will face with is when his wife, when they review this call just now. God bless them both. They'll survive this. They'll survive anything. Let's hope so. NYKia31 says, credit to David for having the fortitude to stand up and articulate his points. That's what men do. He may be more of a fan than it appears. I agree. I think David and I are like-minded in a lot of different ways, man. And again, now one thing I will give him the benefit of the doubt in this regard. He was talking to guys who called themselves MGTOWs. Not that the guys who called themselves MGTOWs, they were making excellent points. It's just that he was disagreeing with all of the points. And guys, I say this all the time. It's easy for men to be red pill when they're by themselves, okay? Not so easy when your wife or girlfriend is in the room. I don't have that problem. I'm as red pill on either side of the camera. Dude, Devin, she knows what the fuck is up. She knows what the fuck I think. Like, I've even got her now. Dude, I posted a video on social media yesterday, Survivor Family or whatever. I was barely paying attention. Devin says, Donovan, yo, check this out. This girl is cheating on her boyfriend. I said, how do you know? We rewinded. I was like, oh shit, he sure is. So Devin is absolutely on board. She knows what the deal is, or at least she has the balls to acknowledge it. Hopefully David gets to a point to where he can really be honest around his wife and withstand, hey, listen, I don't make the rules, sweetie. It is what it is. Now bend over. Some guy, $2 says, Don, gotta be blue pill to stay monetized on YouTube. That I agree with. Merciless 6. In Womanese, what's hate watching? Hate watching in Womanese. Women who hate watch shows like mine secretly wish their men, their boyfriends, their husbands had my fire, right? You saw that with Joy Isabella. Halfway through the video, you could see her start to flip. Her cheeks became more flush. She's exposing more of her neck. Then at the end of the video, twice she says, I just imagine myself being Donovan's girlfriend. Of course you did. VV with the €5 super chat says, please tell us the mechanism by which a harassed woman by uncle would want forceful intercourse to feel satisfied. Shouldn't she hate that? You would think so, VV. But women who are sexually molested as young girls are always promiscuous. They're always promiscuous. They end up as call girls, strippers, porn stars. It's just how it is. And I'm not a psychologist, but those are the same things as daddy issues. Right? Like when a man, and I don't want to get too far into this, I want to keep this YouTube friendly, but when a man violates a child in that way, especially a female child, she internalizes this and she thinks to herself, this is what men want from me. Right? She's a kid. This is all she knows. She has more sexual experience than, dude, most men in their 20s. It's like she had to grow up very quickly. So when a man violates a little girl like that, that's all she knows. Oh, this is what men want from me. And so they give it to men. That's how, listen, you would think they hate it. They don't. They do not hate it. They absolutely do not hate it. Let's go back to the phone lines. Area code 857. Area code 857, you're on Live at Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I guess that's me.
Yep.
Hey, this is your friend Sammy from Boston. I called in a couple times before in the past.
Oh, hey, Sammy. How you doing, man? How you been?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Donovan. Glad to see you're still up to some great content here.
Trying to, man.
And, speaking, I remember telling you in past conversations, I'm a MGTOW guy and spending a lot of time, self-improvement, a lot of stuff, making a lot of great progress, and haven't been dating actively. But one of the reasons I watch your content, and which, besides the fact that it's valuable content in and of itself and very entertaining as well, it's even if like a guy, like let's say like a MGTOW guy isn't actively dating, like I can't make a reasonable argument for enforced ignorance. Like there is no good argument for being ignorant of game, even if you don't use it.
Sure.
It's a good thing to know about because it teaches you about how things are, regardless of whether or not they're good or bad, or whether they're meaningful in your own life or not, because you're applying them or not. It's good knowledge to have. It's also good knowledge. A lot of MGTOW guys, they've been out of the dating for a while. They could potentially, because of like lack of experience or this hiatus, if they've taken a break from dating, they could become easy targets for manipulation by women because they're still men. They still have urges. They still have weaknesses. We all do. And so staying up to speed on how game works and, can allow a guy to recognize when he potentially might be getting manipulated into a situation where the woman's exploiting the fact that he's been rusty, out of the game for a while to manipulate him. So it can actually be valuable even for the MGTOW guy who still wants to stay out of the game. And I think that's important. So it's kind of an appeal to like my MGTOW brothers out there, whether or not you decide to date. That's a decision every man needs to make for himself. But there is no good argument for being ignorant on purpose.
No,
it's kind of like
I agree.
Learning about self-defense or getting like a license to carry. Most people don't get these things because they're spoiling for a fight. They're getting this knowledge or these tools, putting them in their pocket, hoping they never have to use them in an action situation. But if you need it, the knowledge is there, the tools are there, you can apply them if and when you need it. And that's a decision you can make for yourself. And that's why, I think we need to separate the argument on whether or not people should date versus the argument of if you are going to, here's what you need to know. And these are kind of two separate fields. And I think just because people aren't dating or aren't seeking actively relationships doesn't mean that they should stay isolated from knowing how things work. And I think that's really important. And that's why, you probably have a bigger MGTOW following than you probably first realized. Because I think there's a lot of guys like me out there who have that same mindset. We want to know how things are in case we want to apply it, whatever. And there's value in that. And so, like I told you before, I used to be hard on you, man. But the more I listen to you, I realize there is real value there. This is good knowledge. I like your style, the way you do it. I told you before, I like how when you do these things live, there is an added, it's not theoretical anymore. You know what I mean? And that gives it an extra edge, an extra relevance, an extra a rawness to it. That it's not just interesting to watch, but, we have to wing it when we're in a real situation too. So watching a guy wing it, that's actually really good. That's really useful. It's because, the tips you give about body language, things like that. So anyways, I don't want to belabor the point, but the more MGTOW keeps coming up in the conversation, the more I realize, red pill, like you said, we're just part of a spectrum, the risk-averse guys versus the more risk-tolerant guys. And that's a decision every man needs to make for himself. But,
Sammy,
I am appealing to my MGTOW brothers out there to learn about game, whether or not they use it. It's good knowledge. It's important knowledge. And I think you're really contributing to doing that. And that's a great thing that I want to commend and I want to encourage and wishing you great luck,
Thank you. Don't hang up yet,
Sammy.
And that's all I have to say. No, hold on. Don't hang up yet. Sure. What the way I feel about what we call game, and again, Sammy, we know game is just shorthand for creating sexual attraction with a woman on purpose. That's why we call it game. Is it playing games? Yeah, some of it is playing games, but that's what we call it. But I liken game to MGTOW guys like a gun is to a U.S. citizen. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that's exactly it. again, whether or not people are, because even guys who are actively seeking to date won't necessarily just immediately run into someone that clicks with them. They still need to make an effort to learn about the other person, know whether or not this is good for them or not, know how to deal with the situation. I mean, this is life with anyone you meet, work, friends, whatever. And so having knowledge about what are the keys that can allow you to win rapport with a person, what are the keys to recognize when a person isn't being who they say they are. I mean, you've discussed this many times. Women will tell you one thing. I mean, men do that too, but like they'll tell you one thing, but they mean something else.
Right.
Knowing how to pick up the tells is useful knowledge.
Yes,
There's no good argument for keeping myself ignorant and then getting surprised when someone screws me over. You know,
there you go.
There is no good argument for that. And that's why it's, you know, like you said, it's better to have it and because that knowledge, that psychology, it teaches us about ourselves too. That's the other thing too. Men, like you said, men aren't blameless. A lot of times men open up themselves to manipulation because we don't watch our six, you know, we can, you know, men, we're romantic, you know, like we're human too. And that sometimes means we open up ourselves to manipulation. Does it make the manipulation? Does it excuse it? No. But, you know, we still kind of have to take responsibility to protect ourselves because you got to watch out for yourself, you know. It's nice to think that others will watch out for you too, but you can't guarantee that.
No, of course
The
not.
one thing you can guarantee is that you'll get what you put into it if you decide to put into it.
Excellent.
And that's what and that's why, yeah, that knowledge is useful because we got to take responsibility for ourselves, you know. Now, if we're lucky and everyone else around us cares about us the way we care about ourselves, good. But not everyone's going to be like that. So why open up yourself to that vulnerability, you know?
I agree.
That would be self-inflicted, you know?
I agree.
And there's nothing wrong about telling a guy, learn about this, arm yourself with this knowledge, you know, but whether you use it or not, that's up to you. But then if something does come up and you apply it, you're not ignorant anymore.
There you go.
You're protected. You know, you have that knowledge and that can be useful. And I think I'm really happy to see that, you know, the same way I kind of opened up to your part of the red pill, you know, I'm glad to see that you're also opening up to like learning about how other guys are dealing with their situations. And I think it's important for us to speak the same language, whether or not we're approaching the issue from the same angle. By speaking the same language, we can understand each other, we can help each other, we can learn about these things. And as a community, as men, watch out for each other and uplift everyone together, you know. And like people don't want to be uplifted, well, that's their problem. You know, we've done our part. You know,
You can't force men to do
in that
it.
sense, yeah, you know, you're really stepping up and you're really giving great content, and that's important. It's valuable. Guys like me are finding value in your content, even though I'm not going to apply it tomorrow, but that's besides the point. It's good content. It's useful knowledge. That's the key part that I want to underscore for all my MGTOW brothers out there, you know.
Good stuff, man. Well said, Sammy. Thank you for calling in. He's a very introspective guy. He's a very thoughtful guy, and I'd never really thought of it that way. I guess maybe I do have more of a MGTOW following than I originally thought, because just because somebody decides not to have anything to do with women for a while doesn't mean that they're going to just swear off women forever. As a matter of fact, I would go as far as to say, listen, when you first find the red pill, the first thing you should do is go MGTOW. In other words, don't have anything to do with women. Work on yourself, man. Like, dude, get into shape, strengthen your body, strengthen your mind, get your financial house in order, learn game. If you decide to swear off women, no problem. When and if there ever comes a time where you might want to pursue women, the utility is there for you. Very, very good call there by Sammy in Boston. I always like to let him talk for a little bit longer because I want to get inside of the minds of men who didn't used to really like or follow me, but do now. I think it's very important to kind of find out where the tide turned. The People's Asshole says, I stand by my earlier statement, but mad respect for the guy. Michael Goodlet said, you owned that biatch Joy when she called in, man. When you own chicks like that, their panties turn into a water park. She will hate her weak-ass boyfriend soon. Yeah, she will. She will. Freelance Ronin is in the house, the original TSROG. Alizmat Films actually had a very interesting thought. He said, if I may offer a suggestion, Donovan, instead of taking the video down entirely, upload an edited version to show how grown men settle their differences and discussions online without getting soy. 100% agreement. That I agree with. I'm going to send that to my videographer. I'm going to have him cut up the video. Because I said some pretty disparaging things about him and his wife. And while I don't regret what I said about him and his wife, he earned my respect. And I don't think that there should be anything about his wife that I said to him available to the public. So the unedited version will be available to my patrons because I stand by what I said. But the guy called in and he was actually pretty good. So listen, he earned my respect, man. He earned my respect enough to say, you know what? Listen, I'll be respectful of you and your wife. I'll take it down. But yeah, I'll have my videographer cut that up a little bit. And hey, this is how to resolve a alleged disagreement between two men. Instead of bitching and moaning back and forth, then maybe two men can talk it out. So very, very good suggestion. Very, very good suggestion there. Give me 2 seconds here. Okay. Excellent. Excellent show, guys. Like I said before, I will be breaking down the Love is Blind. This is Love is Blind breakdown. I want to say number 16. This is the Love is Blind breakdown number. Is it number 15 or 16? I can't decide. You crackheads in there were offering to pay me. Dude, we'll give you $1,000 to do Love is. Whoa, hold on, man. No, I got you. So I'm going to light up the spoon. For you guys. All you Love is Blind breakdown crackheads. I got your fix. You don't have to be a patron to watch these. But if you want to watch it without having to pay, go to sharpestream.com. I'm going to put the link in the chat. And I am streaming there right now. Again, go to sharpestream.com. 2 seconds here. Where is the chat? There we are. Got it. There we go. All right, excellent. I got you. Listen, I got y'all. Hey, man, you got that Love is Blind breakdown from Donovan, man. I'm trying to get that shit, man. I need that shit. You know what I'm saying? I got you. My LIB crackheads. I'm getting ready to feed the need. I'm getting ready to satisfy the need. Couldn't do one yesterday, of course, because of the consultation. I think we maxed out somewhere around 1,800. So, listen, the live numbers are out of this world. Listen, YouTube, it's so obvious that YouTube is throttling my content. I had 2,800 people watching episode 594 when I roasted that bitch, Joy Isabel. It's at 27,000 views, which is nothing to sneeze at, but that should be about 100,000 view video. 2,800 people were watching that video for about 15 minutes, but whatever. I'm not going to bitch and moan about shit that I do not have control over. At any rate, hang on a second. Whoa, wait a minute. What the hell is that? Oh, I see what happened. Oh, okay. Almost jumped the gun there. All right, perfect. That is going to do it for this edition of TSR Live. Hell of an episode. Shout out to all of my super chatters. Shout out to all of my callers. Shout out to David, who stepped into the Lion's Den and eloquently stated his points. Mad respect to you and your hot wife, Cassie. Cassie, if you ever get rid of David, call me. Thanks, guys.